Hello, Smite fans! Bah! Welcome to the spring split of the Smite Pro League.
Can you just...
Brandon's mic is very loud in his head, and we are live in Atlanta.
It's already done.
All right, are we done? Okay.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the Smite Pro League. My name is Bart. That's Brandon Nance, and we are moments away from getting into our first best of 5 today. That's going to be...
It was on 7.
What?
It's supposed to be on 2.
Oh, your loudness?
Oh
Yes, my loudness is quite loud as well, but lucky for me...
Oh, is that so?
Lucky for me, you have a beautiful voice.
Today we're going to be checking in, at least to start with Europe, as Game Hunter is going to take the field once again against NQ circa 2013.
The God Hunter?
Yeah, man, this is going to be the Men of the TheNightsWatch going up. That was fun, right? That's the first one.
I mean, is that even really a pun?
I said because the Men of the TheNightsWatch.
Men, okay.
The Men of the TheNightsWatch.
Those men are Moex, Wolf of Yellow Street, Zinder, and Carino, and NQ, as you may or may not know.
It's a good team, man.
Yeah, a lot of old kind of Coast, Mortality, Cloud9 players.
Moex.
And the Moex.
Like
the best on her.
Moex is the best everything sometimes. Like when
sometimes.
that guy's on, he's
sometimes.
on.
Yeah.
Like
that's right. Well, their opponents today. You may know them as the Spicy Waffles or Team Beer or Reeb or many and many other names they had through the last qualifying process, but it's Bushi, Flurry Q, Ninja Bobat, Wolfie, and the God Hunter himself, Game Hunter.
That, again, is a pretty incredible lineup.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
This is probably going to be the most competitive European game, or at least set to me. I mean, these teams are very equal.
These are some of the closer by seed matches that we're going to have out of the qualifying process.
This is the 4-5 match.
Yeah, so it should be a real barn burner.
Was that the first one for the season?
First barn burner? Yeah, because so WizKid tweeted me yesterday. He was like, I'm really proud of you for not saying it. And I was like, oh.
There
but if you guys didn't know, this is what we're getting ourselves into. It's the bottom SPL teams versus the top challengers teams, and they're playing in best of 5s, winning you're in to the spring split. That's
right, and today I think, just like I said, I think this is going to be one of the more competitive matches. I'm very, very excited to watch this because, I've been playing Smite forever, since the early beta, and one of the matches in Europe that has always been very important was NQ versus Game Hunter. This is a matchup we saw like during the launch tournament, before the launch tournament, a little bit after the launch tournament, before Game Hunter decided to take a break. NQ found himself on a different team and kind of just situated himself throughout the European scene until finding a home here.
Well, it seems like, as I recall, it was not a lot of NQ victories in that matchup. It was Game Hunter that was doing himself proud in most of those games, it seemed like. But let's take a look at how we got here and what happened yesterday. Who made it to the SPL in yesterday's matches? Here they are. From Europe, it's Fnatic, Trig, Titan, and London Conspiracy that qualified out of the regular season. Right. And then Team Dignitas has made it through relegations yesterday. Yeah,
with a pretty incredible set, mind you. I mean, granted,
controversial.
Third game a little bit messy.
Yeah.
Second game was incredible. Fourth game, though, they ran right through it. Dignitas looked very, very strong in the fourth game once they got their heads screwed on straight. Yes. Because in that second game where, who was it? Frezzy just kind of like feeling himself a little bit with them taunts.
The sneaky backs. Well, let's take a look at what happened over in North America yesterday, where Cognitive Gaming pulled it out and makes themselves, once again, the 5th spot in the Pro League.
Right. I mean, they also had maybe not the easiest time. It was a 3-0, and if you see the stat, 10 years from now on paper, it'll be like, oh yeah, they won that match easily. But it was hard fought.
That's right.
It was hard fought.
It was. Resist Gaming, kind of every game had a 10-minute, 15-minute period where they were really in control, but they couldn't finish, it seemed like. And that's a hard thing to really learn how to do against a team that, in theory, has better talent than you, to learn to take your advantage and win versus that squad.
They've been scrimming almost exclusively with, like, TSM. Right? I mean, that's the practice they get. And the poor guys on Resist are like, we played in the Challengers Cup last week.
Right. Yeah. It's a tough position to win out of, but Resist looked really strong as well. So I was pretty pleased with the quality of the Challengers Cup, from that lowest seed position to what should be the best seed position in this tournament.
All right, so we're going to be getting to picks and bans here in just a second. Remember, guys, the 4th and 5th seeds are about to fight. This is going to be a very competitive matchup. Your highlighted players are basically Game Hunter, NQ. I'm also going to throw Moex into that ring. Generally has no business in the Challengers Cup. I mean, the guy is unstoppable.
Moex is a very strong player. Well, here we are. It brings us to the picks and bans. My friends, TheNightsWatch will be the blue squad at the bottom of your screen. Spicy Waffles, the red squad at the top of the screen. And with the first pick, first ban position, it's TheNightsWatch, and they will be removing Cirquette from play, not wanting to deal with what Bushi can bring to the table.
I'm still a little thrown that Bobat's on the Hunter role.
Yeah?
I mean, his jungle's incredible. I don't know how Bushy's going to live up to what Bobat brought to the table.
Are we calling him Bushy or Bushy?
Is it Bushy?
I don't know.
Because it looks like Bushy.
It's probably Bushy.
I'm going to say Bushy.
Okay, fine.
Production also says Bushy.
Fine.
Bans are through. Athena's still on the table here. I imagine that the Night's Watch is going to grab a lady, which is normally not acceptable.
Lady. No?
That counts too, by the way.
Okay.
Lady in the Night's Watch.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're going to take the Dragon King.
Oh, wow.
In the first pick position.
See, I don't like that either because...
I don't understand why.
Kings are not allowed... I mean, you forego all titles when you join the Night's Watch.
This is terrible. But the Quang.
Yeah.
A first pick? I mean,
the character got buffed from the last time we saw him, and the last time we saw him was Cyclone Spin beating Bologna.
Right.
I mean, so there's obvious potential in the character, but he does give up Athena. I think what Bart's trying to alliterate is maybe he is strong enough to be first pick, but I don't think Spicy Waffles was going to pick him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sure, he's strong. Why not? But there's no way this is a high-value god in terms of picking, right? Over Athena, over Agni, over Rama, over Poseidon, over pretty much anything that's kind of an in-meta pick. He's just kind of outside of the norm, so it's unlikely that he would have gotten a targeted ban unless these two teams have scrimmed together recently. But
I don't know. I like the hunter pick of Rama because Rama doesn't lose to any hunters. He goes even or beats every hunter in the game.
Right, and has a nice late game.
So it's just like, we'll pick a static pick, not give them the counter pick. If they want to pick their hunter, they can. They'll pick Xbalanque. Late game, they're very close to even. Xbalanque has a little bit better carry potential. Rama has a much better early game. Overall, winds up being a 5-5.
It just depends on how long you can keep that Xbalanque from finding his kills. The passive really allows him to accelerate his farm and damage potential. Taking a look at Spicy Waffles with their targeted ban, it's a tier.
Okay.
Not wanting to deal with, well, NQ's probably most famed god pairing.
Yeah.
Bakasura removed by the Night's Watch as well. And, well, Zindern's Quang, very, very highly valued. This is something you got to keep your eye on here.
Assuming it's jungle.
It's jungle.
Oh, wait, Cyclone Spin.
Yeah, it's NQ.
All right, that's fair.
NQ plays Warriors.
Hercules,
hey,
speaking of Warriors, that's going to go to Game Hunter, most likely at least. I mean, it could be Athena jungle, Hercules support, right? I mean, it's possible. It could be Herc jungle as well. But either way, I mean, he gets locked in. Really good pick there. Doesn't really force a lot of counter picks. And if it is the solo, it's a little curious to see that picked in that spot instead of waiting for the counter pick potential. But maybe he was trying to take that away from NQ.
Yeah. I mean, or are they going to try to maybe throw some kind of like a wheelish style? Whoa, that's an NQ pick right there. If I've ever seen one. Chaac? Chaac?
I feel like farming.
Yeah, it's, well, you know, Chaac is good at many, many things. Killing people and, like, aggressing or controlling the lane is not really one of them.
No, it's just, I'm going to throw this axe at these little guys.
Yeah, you will not stop me from getting 17 XP per minion over and over and over again. Or, you know, like, yeah, the axe, he's barely mobile with the torrent call.
Sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So
that is an NQ pick, but that was for a different side of the thing. So Herc jungle Loki solo seems to be what I would think is going to happen.
No, I think it's going to be the Loki in the solo lane to deal with the Quang.
Yeah, Herc jungle, Loki solo.
All right, no, Loki in the jungle.
Oh, you think Loki in the jungle?
Yeah, I think Loki in the jungle. And I think Loki in the jungle because...
See, I think
well,
Hercules...
maybe not. You're right. Because the Chaac is so passive in the lane that Loki's not going to have a lot of problem with him.
Not to mention, Quang can blow Hercules up pretty quickly.
Sure, he could.
If
but
he steps out of position.
The same right, Loki is a better kind of god hunter of the Quang.
Well, we don't even need to sit here and assume who's going to go, because in 5 seconds we're going to be in the game.
We're going to know right now. Oh, but it is Game Hunter. Game Hunter loves him some solo lane Loki. Let's see what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the God Hunter on the Loki. So let's go ahead and introduce your squads. The Night's Watch will be the blue team, fighting out of the bottom side of the minimap on the left side of your spectator UI, pinging the map now on the left side. It is NQ in the solo lane is Chaac. Zindern will be your jungle Quang. Carino in the mid lane is Poseidon. Wolf of Elo Street and Moex duoing up as Geb and Ram. We may see a little bit of action here. No. As the Night's Watch backs off, the Spicy Waffles, and a nice rock shot for you. The Spicy Waffles make their way to the left side of the map. Looking for a potential invade here as 5. It's Game Hunter in the solo lane is Loki. Flurry Q as the Hercules in the solo lane. That leaves Wolfie in the mid. And the Bushy and Ninja Bobat in the dual lane is Athena Xbalanque.
So, what's interesting here is Loki solo is not very strong in the current meta, although still playable. but there were two players that really made Loki solo a thing, and that would be Game Hunter and NQ. NQ picking that Chaac, he assumed into Hercules, and I kind of thought it was a little curious to pick the warrior so early on for the solo lane. They didn't give up counter pick potential, and they still had it. Although I don't really consider this a counter pick, although I do love the fact that Game Hunter can sit back, farm the wave just as well as NQ can. And then in the late game, be just as effective. It's going to be different effectiveness, though, right? You're going to have Chaac going for control with that extra silence and the slow from the heal, and then we're going to have Game Hunter going, I'm going to try to kill one person very quickly.
Here's my thoughts on the matter, Brandon, because you asked. Chaac he's going for the mystical male start, but he's built the hog, which means he hasn't gotten that rank 2, which means that this rush is not going to be super fast, probably around the 14-minute mark. Maybe he's going to have that item done. And it's kind of a ticking time bomb, right? For both sides. The Loki needs to be at a point. Okay, let me back up. When mystical male is completed on Chaac, the lane is over. Loki can no longer be here.
That's Athena jungle. I wasn't even. And it said the Herc support.
Okay, Herc support.
Whoa. All right, and we even said it, right? We just talked about that.
Even the cameraman swapping their roles around there a little bit. Okay, so to be honest here, it's the problem is that once the mystical male comes out, the lane is over for Loki. He can no longer be in the lane versus Chaac. He'll just get burned to death. Right,
but he doesn't need to be in the lane. He can sit at the tower and just go decoy.
Sure, but that's the point at which he either has the farm that he's going to be able to start making those rotations and easily farm the wave and keep the Chaac off balance, or he won't. And NQ... it's going to be a little dangerous because he hasn't gone for the full-out rush, right? He went for the hog.
Right, which means it's going to be even slower now on the boots. I mean, those are going to be second item, which means Loki's going to have a great opportunity to just go for that annoying Loki proxy, right? Going behind the tier 1 and going, haha, decoy, your wave's dead, see ya.
So it's going to be important for NQ to somehow wrestle some control out of this lane and get a little bit ahead of the Loki to try to get that mystical male online in a more meaningful timing and to be able to bully him a little bit. Or this could get hairy, especially for that mid laner. Or the Quang could be hunted down fairly easily by the God of Deception.
Oh, that was a really cute play there. Actually getting a lot of damage off. NQ can be able to heal most of it up. No one's really going to wind up winning this lane for a very long time. If either one of these guys is going to get a kill, it's going to be basically one person overcommits to a fight they didn't belong into.
That's a nice play there by NQ. He's gone in it, but now he's fighting the archers as well, and Game Hunter's going to win this trade, but he doesn't have a heal in his kit.
That's true, but his level 5 going to be a little bit more effective if he can get there. Decoy coming off cooldown in just a second here. Nice use of Vanish.
Yeah, that's an important miss there, honestly, by NQ. Using the Vanish to get the bonus movement speed and get out of the way. Well done, Game Hunter.
Although Game Hunter is still level 4, NQ does hit level 5 a little bit early in the rotation. As you see, Zindern sticking in the mid lane. Now, I would like to see him just ult right here. He should have just threw Wolfie up into the air, landed him in the crack, and that would have been a kill if he landed in the whirlpool, because you take a look at the items, no beads for Agni.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. I mean, that's a very astute observation, that it was a free kill, basically, and still is. I mean, if they can just execute putting a whirlpool underneath him, but perhaps they want to save those ultimates for the the 3rd minute mid-camp fight here. Right side looks like it is going to be going to Spicy Waffles, with Flurry Q making his way over there with Agni.
This actually is going to wind up benefiting them if anything runs into the tower here. Yeah, they're going to lose a very small amount of gold. The mid-camp still get traded out, albeit it is the smallest win I think I've ever seen. It's
a 7 gold swing.
It's still a win.
I guess the swing is probably something like 40, but...
Yeah.
Well, let's check in with the duo lane. Haven't been here yet on the sandy beaches of the left side of the map. It's Moex from the Night's Watch, farming away happily under no pressure as the Rama. On the other side, it is Ninja Bobat as the Xbalanque. Not wearing esports Xbalanque, football Xbalanque for what it's worth.
Still very strange to me that Bobat is going to find himself in the Hunter role, but he's going up against Moex. This is probably going to be one of the hardest matches he's going to face from the Challenger Cup, right? I mean, Moex was a premier Hunter in the last season, fell into the Challengers Cup after his team broke up, and finds himself on a rather star-studded team with him, NQ, Wolf of Elo, Streak, Carino. I mean, these are really high-profile players.
Moex probably the most feared hunter in Europe in terms of lane presence. When you talk to the other hunters throughout the region, they pretty much just say, we don't want to play against Moex because he's just crazy.
He's nuts. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
he's like,
I will
die.
He'll fight you.
He could be at 10 health, and he's like the Cyclone Spin of the duo lane. He will just fight you for no reason all the time. And it works.
So Talaria boots have come out for the Quang. He's had those for about a minute. I don't think he's hit anybody yet, so he hasn't gotten that proc. But is making, well, we'll try to make use out of them. What do you think about that on this god? I mean, he has really effective harass.
I was going to say, I like these boots, even if it didn't have that crazy gold experience passive this week. It actually will give him enough movement speed to make him very, very scary, because this is a god that needs to stick to you, and if he's gaining that extra movement speed to catch you to begin with, it's going to be very, very hard to deal with, especially if you're a character like Agni who had already dashed. He'll chase you down and he'll guarantee the kill.
Yeah, that being said, he does scale very well off of his base levels, but will need some magical power at some point in this kit, which means that he likely cannot go for something like the Wing Blade start here on top of the Talari boots. He's going to need some kind of damage item coming out next.
Oh, so rushing down here on the left side, Zindern pushing away Flurry Q. We're going to see Bobat under the tower, and they're going for the steal.
Viva Pinata. Zindern in a bit of trouble. He blinks out. Wolf of Elo Street likely to be the first blood here. Yes, the driving strike into the wall to push him further away from the team. There's the double knockup, but the dot active, and it will indeed be your first blood. Wolfie getting very low. Moek should be able to snipe this one out. Come on, buddy. One. Yes, got him. Dead to rights on the second shot. Rolls away. Here comes the Loki. Game Hunter. First ultimate of the game. There it is. But the Kraken comes out for the counter initiation on the backside, and Carino will take the second kill. Moek's getting low and will go down to the bushy.
Zindern needs to let this go.
Wait, why aren't they fighting him?
He needs to let this go. Oh, wait, here comes NQ. Possible. He's going to get a beautiful silence, and he does use the ult. Didn't think he was going to go for it there. They're going to wind up dropping the first blood, but the men of the Night's Watch going to take 3 kills overall.
Well, I mean, getting that ultimate out there from Zindern allows him to reposition a little bit and saves him from any possible reinitiation coming in. At the end of the day, I mean, unlikely given the circumstances, but still secures himself a kill.
So, this is strange. Wolf of Elo Street trying to make the play here. Not only is he likely to lose this engagement, but there are 4 creeps going into the tower right now that he tagged that he's not going to get a part of. But great pressure's actually going to keep them back. Stun coming out. No, didn't wind up getting it. That one, NQ's taking a lot of damage, and
really
the camp still goes to red.
Wolf of Elo Street. Yeah, electing to knock them up outside of range. No hog coming out either. Strange for him to be in that position versus that many targets.
No kills going down, though, as the solo laners return to the solo lane. Let's bring up the golden hand here, see how close NQ is. Sitting on 1970 right now, getting close to 2K. He's closer. It's still quite a ways away.
Yeah, he's getting there, though. He's going to need...
Oh, wait, no, he has level 1.
Yeah, he's got the level 2.
Oh, so yeah,
no, he's got a level 2. He's ready.
Oh, yeah, he's got it, and he's got boots. Oh, all right, so he's ready to fight.
That was much faster than I anticipated.
Oh, it's really... I mean, if you go into the level 1 to start, it's not so bad, but the Heartseeker's done as well. Game Hunter, remember, goes into the Heartseeker, which has been massively buffed. Yeah. Not only gaining an almost 200 decrease in cost, but actually going to have increased power as well by 5.
Yeah, this item has become very, very attractive, and Loki, one of the most likely to buy this item kind of outside of any general balance position of it. Let's check in the mid lane where Kuang, he's got a decent angle here. Looks like he wants to put out some damage.
He's going to teleport out of there.
Yeah, but he's going to force the path of flames.
And Wolfie actually going to go back from the spicy waffles there. This should give Zindern an opportunity to get some farm, but the issue is the entire jungle is stripped.
Yeah, the whole jungle's farmed out.
Every camp is gone.
Just the back left XP camp getting ready to come back up on the side of spicy waffles.
See that right there? Having every camp off the map, that is not challenger level plays right there. That is very serious SPL-worthy teams. And there's, I mean, like we talked about, a lot of names here that deserve to be in the SPL. And unfortunately, only one of these teams is going to wind up there. And it's going to be a pretty hard-fought set. You can see we're only about 8 minutes into the game, but there's like a 700 gold difference off of 1 kill that the Nightwatch has. I mean, that's really impressive.
Yeah, very close game here. This is a best-of-5 contest, ladies and gentlemen. We are in game number 1. As the 0-0 score indicates under the timer, that does state 8 minutes and 30 seconds here, where it's 3-2 in favor of the Night's Watch. And as Brandon mentioned, a little bit of experience here, about 2K going to the favor of the blue squad, and a very modest amount of gold to the tune of about 500 is the lead.
So, I mean, I haven't talked to Game Hunter this season all that much, so it's hard for me to gain his frame of mind, but when he originally stopped playing at a professional level, it was strictly because the commitment was too much, right? So it makes me, maybe not question, but worry about how big his commitment is now. Like, does he want to be in the SPL as much as someone like NQ, who is dire for it?
Yeah, it's always challenging for Game Hunter to make it to lands. And I mean, it's a big commitment for him. And so, yeah, I think you're right. That is a good question. You know, how long will this roster be able to stay together? You know, maybe they're thinking about, hey, look, if we can just qualify with Game Hunter, then maybe we can replace him later with NQ or something, potentially, if he isn't feeling it. But I got to think, you know, if you're going to commit to playing in these qualifiers, he's probably thinking that it's time to give Professional Smite another run.
So let's take a look at the junglers here, Zindern and Bushy. Bushy actually has the level 11 before Zindern did on a character who did not build into Talari boots. She went into damage boots. We're going to see...
Why?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I guess for the right side camp, just to make sure they get it, but a global use there.
Well, they got it.
To get the guy, yeah, sure. They got the camp.
They definitely got it.
Bully.
It deterred, right? I mean, I don't know if they would have committed to it to begin with, so perhaps it was just a preventative measure, but a little bit curious.
Well, we're getting into the realm of the Gold Fury here. Moex with the 50-stack Devo gloves, sitting pretty there. Xbalanque, no lifesteal to his name just yet, so it's advantage TheNightsWatch for the opportunity to take out the first major map objective.
We're 3-2 still, 10 minutes still down. I just don't see either team taking the advantage. Both seem very unwilling to fight. I mean, this is a good play.
What a nice guy.
I love seeing stuff like that.
Splitting it up, letting Zindern get some of that XP.
I mean, moreover, getting all of that gold.
Here we go. The spicy waffles. They're going to start up the Gold Fury here, but you got Geb in position. Wolf of Elo Street does have a blink online. There it is. Cataclysm, but it only hits one. They pull the Gold Fury back. Gold Fury getting down to 35% now. Very close execute range. Who's going to be there? It's going to be Wolf of Elo Street. It will indeed, as he takes that one away from the spicy waffles. And here comes the counter initiation. Athena ultimate on top of Loki. The Wombo combo comes down. In execute range is Bushy, and up he goes with Zindern in the dragon form. He's looking for Bobat on the backside now, and he's going to have the reposition right on target. But Moex cleans that one up. Zindern providing the vision. And that is a easy cleanup. 4 for 1 in favor of the TheNightsWatch. They only lose their game, but he'd already hogged the wave and used his ultimate, or hogged the Gold Fury and used his ultimate, so not much usefulness left there anyway.
For real, I mean, once they picked off Flurry Q, the Gold Fury was free. That's why you saw Game Hunter try to get into the backline, but by the time Bushy started his ultimate, it was just too little too late. They wind up picking up the support for basically everything on the map, or at least that's relevant at this stage. Also a huge gold lead now, 3,400 out of nowhere. I was just saying I didn't see them committing to it, but out of nowhere, Spicy Waffles tries to start the Gold Fury. They bait themselves into a bad spot. We saw the Kata jump in. Kata only hits one. Carino, same thing, throws at the Kraken, only hits one, but he hit the right target, taking out Flurry Q.
And now they're in a pretty tricky position here, where they're behind, moving into the mid game, and the TheNightsWatch has built very mid game oriented items. Talaria boots on 2, the double ring build coming out from Quang, very mid game focus. The Doom from Poseidon as well, very mid game focus, and the Mystical Mail, probably the best mid game item in the entire game in terms of damage output and team fight swinging. So
just the best
it's TheNightsWatch with a very large strategic advantage at this point in the game.
Mystical Mail actually has maybe a hidden passive against Loki. Remember, when you hit Loki when he's stealthed, the number will actually track him for a little while.
They're going to make a kill here on the Game Hunter with the silence coming out. No way to get out of this one. Even with the Athena ultimate expended, unable to secure the life of the Game Hunter. So they'll use an ultimate, and they'll lose their solo laner as well. And remember, that's a Heartseeker carrying Loki, so they're going to shut down some of his damage. Yeah, that'll hurt. I mean, that's his second death there. It's going to drop his stacks very, very low. Not sure why Bushy decided to run into this many people. You may be dead, buddy. As the damage comes out, execute is possible. Trying to get into range of Zindern. He's going to take another tower shot. I don't know. I don't think that bolt's coming. I think he's good. I think he's good. No. Yeah, it'll be fine. Zindern.
He took the shot right before he went up, and that heal actually wound up playing a huge benefit there. Zindern finding the kill that they needed. Bushy going to be sent back, and Zindern, before that, already had a 1-level advantage. Now he's going to have 2 levels, and remember, has the Talaria boots, meaning he's going to extend that lead even farther while Bushy's down. He's getting much more farm than normal. Yeah, and kind of the overall meta problem here is that they have just let the bleeding continue. Right, had an opportunity there to maybe stop the bleeding, save Game Hunter after a couple ultimates were used to try to clean him up. But instead they lose their tier 1 and the jungler and her ultimate and the solo laner. It was just a lot given back by Spicy Waffles there, and the bleeding hasn't stopped yet. Look at this, Moex right now. I mean, granted his support's rotating over, but they're moving at him, and he's just like, I'm not even going to bait you guys. I don't even care that I could fight. I just want to sit exactly where I want to sit, and you're going to hold that. I love watching this guy play, man. Oh, here we go. This is going to be a Cataclysm initiation. Flurry Q is going to be the target here. They're going to try to take him out with the Quang. Driving strike to take him forward. Athena comes rocketing in. Now over the top comes the boulder, but Zindern is going to get the Geb shield to make his way out. Unlikely that Bushy is going to be able to re-engage here. We're seeing a rotation come out from Carino. He's going to go back now. He has to catch this wave. With that, they managed they managed to maintain. I think the whole point of that, they were trying to rush them down and steal the jungle directly afterwards. You'll notice that the difference between a low-level team and a high-level team in terms of pressure is they're not always just looking for kills. They're looking for kills specifically when there's something to gain off of it. So right there, they tried to shut down the duo lane to take the duo side's jungle. The red was up, the purple was up. They don't find it. They don't wind up going for the steal, and it was good for Spicy Waffles to make that defense there, and a great ult coming out from Bushy to save that life, because they would have lost a lot more than just Hercules off that rush.
Moex, he's trying to let the wave push back a little bit here, as Zindern is in position on the left side of the map, but no action yet. Agni kind of feinting he's going to make his way over there. Dodge stun coming out from Wolf of Elo Street with the shield on to Carino. Right side here, NQ, well, he's doing kind of what we said he needed to do. He's bullying this lane very, very effectively with the mystical melee. He's forcing Loki to stay underneath that tier 2 and kind of respect the push of the Chaac. And so they've mitigated the possible damage that Loki could bring.
And you know what's great about the level 16 Chaac at this level? Oh, I thought that was going to hit. They're going to be able to do some damage here. We'll get ultimates used. Bushy going to be down. Bobats will be down. Are they trying to reinitiate?
Oh, yeah. They're going to find Moex, but he's going to get shielded out. Not going to take any damage with the temporary HP from the Geb shield. Wolfie in position, but he's going to have to dash forward if he wants to get these bombs, and he's not going to. It's just too risky. Gold Fury coming back up in 10 seconds, and you can see both the teams with the timer on the mine starting to coalesce on the left side of the map.
Oh, look at this. NQ actually diving in here. He's unable to dash. He was standing in the whirlpool. He's going to use a lot of damage into NQ, who does have that Rain Dance maxed. So he's going to get a decent amount of healing back. Only took about a 1/6 of his life bar overall, and now they're going to have good Gold Fury pressure here. Remember, there's 2 ultimates down right now on the side of red. All ultimates available for the Night's Watch.
I'm not sure that Spicy Waffles has an avenue even to get in here. Flourish is going to get silenced out by the big Chaac ultimate. Gold Fury to go down, eaten up by the dragon.
They got it.
And it's the Night's Watch once again pushing forward. Coming over the top now is Zindern. Does he have a slow for Ninja Bobat? No, and he's going to miss the Cataclysm. No, it was actually hit and beats immediately by Bobat. But here comes the wraparound. NQ with the backstab. Wolfie Force under the tier 2, and this is a very, very dead Xbalanque.
That's what you want to see, right? Rushing down the Hunter, making sure they're putting the damage in the right spots. Now, Game Hunter gets a tier 2 and actually trades off a decent amount of gold, but the issue is that the damage was done. NQ
They're going to take a tier 1 mid as well.
Perfectly.
Nox actually getting a little bit ratted out here with 4 members on the left side and taking that extended engagement. They're going to lose a total sum of 3 towers, 2 tier 1s and a tier 2 on the right and left side lanes. No, right and mid side lanes, I'm sorry. Then you can see how the gold spikes up and then evens out basically completely. But most of that bounty going onto the side of Game Hunter. And Loki, while being a very strong momentum-based character through the mid-game and into the early late game, is definitely not a carry. Probably not who you want farm priority on at this point. Ninja Bobat is definitely who I'm looking at here as being very, very far behind at the level 13 position. 3 levels behind Moex.
All in all, it seems like the Nightwatch just has this game front to back. It's going to be very hard for them to lose. I mean, consider the fact that they just lost a tier 2 and they still maintain this massive gold lead. And remember, that's effective gold. It's still on the map right now for the Nightwatch. They can cancel out that 1,500 by just getting a tier 2 themselves, which with their levels and experience and gold at this stage is not going to be a very hard task.
I'm looking at a 4-0-6 out Kuang.
Jeez.
He's over 1,000 net worth ahead of the Athena at this point. With the double ring build online, moving into his attack speed item, likely to be a winged blade here.
Yes.
They've kind of let him get away with murder. Very, very greedy build coming out of this AK.
And you know what? This is the build I like to see. He early on gets the Teleria boot, starts rotating, gets a level advantage, and then uses that execute to shut down the jungler so that way he has a little bit more free roam around the map. Now, they're setting up a lot of wards here around the Fire Giant. Was that a rolling assault?
It may have been. Bonus damage on the first shot, baby. Yeah, they're going to start it up. They just want Spicy Waffles to force the fight them. They know they have the big advantage in the mid-game. As we mentioned earlier, they have
Holy crap!
They have all those mid-game items, and they have the Doom Orb on the Poseidon, allowing them so much damage.
Quang.
Yeah, and Quang with the Tokine's Ring plus Demonic Grip is penning additional penetration on those targets hit for the Poseidon, who has the Spear of the Matches as well. They're stacking magical penetration that will work for all members of the squad.
I mean,
Carino and Zindern crushing.
How many characters in the game are going to out-damage a Gold Fury or Fire Giant, you know, over Quang? You have like Anubis, right?
Well, he's doing true damage as well between the Demonic Grip and the Spear of the Matches, like I was saying.
Yeah,
so,
he's swinging, man.
Not many. And if you think about it, I mean, as you recall, right, the Night's Watch banned out 3 junglers away from Bushy.
Well, that's true. I mean, Bakasura could be a solo lane, more likely a solo lane.
More likely a solo lane, but assassins,
a lot of assassins. Yeah.
And still, so it limits both Game Hunter and Bushy's God Pool.
Blurry Q with a desperate boulder. I mean, here's my issue with the boulders. Even if it hit, they have Fire Giant. That health would have come back in 15, 20 seconds.
Right, and without any real initiation outside of the Athena dashing forward to follow that up, who's fairly under-leveled at that point.
What's he doing? Is he lost? He's trying to be Loki.
He's trying to rat, yeah.
He's trying to be Loki. NQ's like, no, I'm not letting you be Loki. That's why he backed. I was wondering where he was or why he wasn't there. Nice teleport there, by the way.
What a spell. The invisible teleport.
I always think it gives you movement speed.
The invisible blink?
It just feels like it should give you movement speed every time. I'm just like, I'm going to catch him. He's still faster than me. I don't.
Yeah. you gotta reactivate the 2, man. Hit him with the long range slow.
But that's why he's getting the wing blade. That's why he has Talaria boots, because he's not in combat off of those moves.
Oh, that's a 4-man Cataclysm, and here comes a follow-up. Bushy getting very, very low already. Zinder continuing to pile damage into him, but now forced out of the fight is Zinder, and he's caught out in a difficult position, forced to use his beats, and cleaned up, actually. A little too aggro out of the assassin there. However, the tower still does fall to the Night's Watch.
They get 1,500 off it. I mean, the Fire Giant buff had about 2 minutes down already. They have about 2 minutes left. So losing one person isn't that big a deal, especially considering how much pressure they put on, but there's still 3 ultimates available. Athena could actually go in onto Bushy here. I really expected that we were going to see Game Hunter and Bushy just run down with that Athena-Loki combo, which is not something we've really seen yet, aside from the Gold Fury fight, but that was less of a combo and more just opportunistic rush.
Well, Bushy does find a decent initiation here, but the damage starting to spread back out as the fight continues. Moex takes the sky. He's got Wolfie's number. Oh, but he misses that second shot. It was nearly on target. And here comes Game Hunter. He's going to be there to clean up Moex. No Stone Shield available from the Geb. Now it's NQ who's trying to zone out Bobat, who gets hit by both an axe and a Poseidon torrent. Here we go, but now they've got him underneath.
Beautiful. Flurry Q, absolutely gorgeous. Driving strikes him into the corner, makes him kind of stop his rush. Game Hunter very, very low at that point, so he knew the target they were looking for. He pushes him back, drops the boulder, even throws up the shell to make sure that they didn't go down. That was the first sign of life I think we've seen from Flurry Q this game.
Where is Bobat? He's trying to lifesteal up, it looks like, in the mid lane, but he could have done that on the Gold Fury there. He would have been in a little bit of danger of Zinder coming in, but they've given up an opportunity there potentially to take that Gold Fury. Would have been very, very risky. And let's point out something that just happened there. You saw Zinder fire off the remainder of those dragons into the jungle. This ability does not reset while the dragons are just swirling around you. So Zinder, heads up play there to fire those off and make sure that cooldown is going to be available for this next skirmish.
And I think it's 18 seconds on the cooldown.
It's very long, that's right.
I mean, and it should be, right, for like all the damage that it does. So very smart. I mean, that's the same thing from the teleport that you want to see. If you teleport just for movement speed or just for distance gain, you need to blow that thing up immediately, because just like the 2, it will not go off of cooldown, or rather, it won't go on cooldown until it's actually been used in its completion.
Pretty funny that you just said movement speed.
I know.
Because we were literally just talking about how it doesn't give you movement speed.
It does.
That's really deep ingrained in you. But Moex, as you can see, starting to crit with that short sword, going for the very traditional build, the oldest build in the books. No Ickfile at all. The Executioner right into crit.
I mean, why mess with success, right? I mean, he's a level up. He has a perfect slash line at this point, right? 3-2-6. I mean, you can't hope to have much more than that. He's Rama, right? He's going to be poking from far away. Crit's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, so this build usually will wind up something like this. Dev's Gloves, Boots, Executioner, Rageblade, Deathbringer, Titan's Bane. That is the traditional max DPS build. Or max burst build, really.
And then we have the rather new build coming out, or maybe even an old build, right? Coming out with the Heartseeker, Aussie, now Ninja Tabby into Executioner. That's going to come out from Bobat. He's looking for just straight up burst damage.
Yeah,
right?
This is the build from kind of right before the Season 1 period of the Smite Pro League.
And it really wasn't even Aussie, it was Draining Blade.
That's right, it was the rank 2 of this item that still provided lifesteal. Very, very cost efficient.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, not super cost efficient anymore.
Just because Draining Blade I don't think exists anymore.
That's right, but it's fairly damage efficient.
We're 23 minutes in, Fire Giant coming up, rather the fight is coming up. I think that, I don't know, man. I don't see Red getting into this Fire Giant cleanly. Yeah, the space control is amazing right now.
The TheNightsWatch piling in. They've got them in the choke as well. They know exactly where the spicy waffles are. And they've spotted out Game Hunter as well. They're going to harass him away. The TheNightsWatch is controlling the whole map right now. Well, at least the only important part of the map right around the Fire Giant here. They could control this whole right hemisphere, and there just seems to be nothing that the spicy waffles can do about it.
I'm looking for Elo Street for the big blink here, maybe to stop them. Do they have another hand 3, Bart? Or are they just trying to rush this down? No, it looks like he's going to stick around. Geb's looking to just close this out.
Here comes the Game Hunter. Xbalanque ultimate used, the reset coming out. The Cataclysm look to be on target. It's a huge silence. It hits the whole team. The TheNightsWatch take the Fire Giant. They'll take the fight as well. The spicy waffles just melt before them. What a play by NQ. Hit everybody with that silence. The Desperation Age is coming out. Ooh. It's not enough. The Night's Watch just run through the Spicy Waffles there, and this looks like it could very well be the game. Just a Loki up against 5. Not going to be enough with all of them with the Fire Giant buff. Dashing backward is Moex and looking to break the base now is the Night's Watch.
I love the rollout usage there just to get him right into the front line. He shields himself to strip the damage away from the Phoenix as much as possible. They're going to work right in here, and it's going to be 1-on-5 with Fire Giant, and Loki is generally not the character you want to try to fight down a huge horde of Fire Giant-enabled Night's Watchmen.
And there it is. The Night's Watch take game number 1 over the Spicy Waffles, ladies and gentlemen. This is a best-of-5 contest. They'll need 2 more victories to secure this one. It's a first of 3. And, well, that one looked very one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, Night's Watch, they gave up First Blood almost right away, but they capitalized on it beautifully. Oh, wait, the First Blood is ready. Let's just take a look at it. We can discuss it that way.
Yeah, let's watch how Flurry Q, well, he finds himself amidst the Kuang, but they end up finding a really nice pick on Negeb here, actually. The Cataclysm comes out, but right as Athena taunt comes through, and he still gets stunned out. Driving Strike, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Geb. Xbalanque darts coming through as well. Wolfie nearly goes down there on the Agni, but unable to find the last shot, unfortunately, was Moex.
So that's going to spell it for game 1. Night's Watch looking very, very strong despite the First Blood, and it all came down to that major Gold Fury fight, right? They give up their support there, but they wind up taking 3 for it, plus the Gold Fury.
4 for 1.
Just 3 for 1?
Yeah, was it 3 for 1? 3 for 1 in the Gold Fury, yeah. That definitely felt like it sprung the game open. And NQ controlled the Loki. Loki was pretty much a non-factor, even with the Athena.
Play. Beautiful. I mean, we don't see a lot of it. I mean, it's very rare that you can see a Chaac get that 4 or 5-man silence off. It's hard to get that lead on a character like Loki and then be able to rotate so freely. NQ, that was some seriously high-level play from him.
Yeah, really well done. From the boys of the Night's Watch, they take 1 game over the Spicy Waffles. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a moment.